Well, do you know what, David? God's love is timeless, and he knew everything that was supposed to go on. Jesus' entry into the world by Christmas in the birth, and when Jesus died on the cross and rose again from the dead.
Oh, Jillybean, will you tell us that story?
I sure will. Yeah. Well, it all started, I think, you know what, in the garden. I could just see him there in the garden, praying to God and asking God, Lord, let this cup pass from me. And then he didn't want to do it. Well, you know what? Jesus didn't have to die on the cross for our sins. No, he didn't? No, he didn't. But he went willingly. Yep, he knew that he would be the sacrificial lamb.
Oh, go on, Jillybean, go on.
Well, you know what? When he was in the garden, and the disciples were there, and they were sleeping. And Jesus came and said, won't you watch for just 1 hour? 1 hour so you won't fall into temptation?
Well, Jillybean, what else happened?
Well, you know what? They were in the garden, and you know what? Then the soldiers and the guards came, and they came, and they went up to Jesus, and Judas kissed him on the cheek. How come? Why did he kiss him? Well, Quickie Bird, that was the sign to the soldiers, so that they knew that Jesus was the one that they wanted to crucify. Oh, hey, that's pretty rotten. Yeah, well, usually you wouldn't betray a friend with a kiss, but Judas did. Yeah, well, anyways, after that, the soldiers went to grab him.
Oh, no, what did he do? What did he do?
Well, Peter, he drew the sword. He drew out a soldier's sword and cut off his ear. Oh, no! Yeah, well, anyways, you know what Jesus did?
No, what did he do? What did he do?
Well, he picked up the ear and he put it back on. And he said, those who draw the sword will die by the sword. Yep, we shouldn't fight. We should love everybody. That's what Jesus wants us to do. Well, then they took Jesus away, and they took him before Pilate, and they were asking what to do with him.
Well, what did they say? What did they say?
The Jews were crying out, crucify him, crucify him. Oh, that wasn't nice. Well, it wasn't. But you know what? God's plan had to happen. Yep, he knew everything that was going to go on. Really? Yep, God knows everything, Quickie Bird. Well, there was another man there, Barabbas. And Barabbas was going to be taken. And usually, when they hang somebody on the cross, well, because Pilate said, who do you want? Do you want Jesus or do you want Barabbas?
Who did they want? Who did they want?
Well, they wanted to let Barabbas go free, and they wanted to crucify Jesus. That wasn't fair, was it? Well, it doesn't seem right, Quickie. But remember, God's plan is great. Yep, God's love is timeless. He knew everything that had to happen.
Well, go on, then what?
Well, David, they beat him up. They hurt him so bad, and they whipped him with whips, with points of metal on the end and glass. And he was just all cut up so bad, and they put a crown of thorns on his head, and they beat it down, and they blindfolded him, and they said, prophesy, prophesy, tell us who punched you. Did he do that? No, you know what? Jesus kept quiet. Yeah, do you keep quiet when people hurt you? Oh, no, I want to scream. Ah! Well, you know what, Quickie Bird? Jesus took a lot for us. He took, oh, so much. Yeah.
Jillybean, go on.
Okay, well, anyways, Jesus, they made him carry this cross. And then he couldn't carry it no more. Someone else had to. And they put him on this cross, and they put nails in his hands and nails in his feet. They nailed him to the cross with a crown of thorns on his head.
Oh, Jesus surely went through a really lot. That's too much for you, huh?
Yeah, I don't know if I could ever go through that for a friend, but Jesus did everything for us. I'm glad Jesus loves us.
Oh, Jillybean, does Jesus love everybody?
Yes, he does. Well, you know what else happened?
No, what?
Well, Peter was outside, and he was warming his hands by the fire. Yeah, then what? Well, somebody came up to him and said, You were with him. I know you were. You must have been with him. You're one of them.
Then what did he do?
Well, he denied it. He said, no, not me. I wasn't one of them. I wasn't with him.
Oh, he's not supposed to do that, is he?
Well, you know what? Jesus warned him before, said, Peter, you will deny me 3 times. Did he? Yeah, that's right, Cookie Bird. Remember? Somebody else came up to him then and said, yep, I think you were one of them. I think you were with them, too.
Oh, no. Did he deny him again?
He sure did, David. Yep, he said, no, it wasn't me. I wasn't with them. No, I'm sure I wasn't with them. Well, that was the second time. And one more time, a lady came up and said, I'm sure you were with them. Yep, you must have been one of them. And then you know what happened?
No, what, Jillybean? What happened?
I know. What happened, Quickie Bird? That's right, Quickie. Yep, the cock crowed. Yeah, and Peter denied Jesus 3 times. But you know what? That's not the end of the story.
It isn't? It isn't? Then what?
Well, after Jesus died on the cross, they took him down, and they put him in a tomb. They buried him, and he was in the grave for 3 days.
Oh, Jillybean, you're supposed to be in the grave all the time. You don't do anything. You don't come back.
Well, Jesus did. Yep, he resurrected from the dead. He was resurrected. Oh, it was so neat. Yeah, Mary went to the tomb the next morning, and they were there. They weren't there. They were gone. And so you know what happened?
No, what?
They were surprised, and an angel was sitting at the door of the tomb. And he said, don't be afraid. Whom you're looking for, he's gone. He's risen from the dead.
Oh, that's really nice, Jillybean. I'm so glad that Jesus rose and died for you.
Yeah, me too, Quickie Bird. You know what, Quickie Bird? God's love is timeless. He knew all the way from the beginning to now. And do you know what? He always loves us. No matter how old we are or what time of the year it is, he loves us. Jesus loves everybody,